Number 9. Makalu. Located in the Mahalangur Himalayas of Nepal, just 19 kilometers from Mount Everest, stands the fifth highest mountain in the world, Makalu. Makalu is one of the deadliest mountains on Earth, claiming the lives of over 51 people. Now, if that doesn't scare you and you still want to make the climb, I hope you have $30,000 to $70,000 laying around because that's what it's going to cost. And let's say you do have the money and done the work to prepare mentally and physically, you better have a great relationship with your boss because you'll be asking for 8 weeks off. Now let's talk about what makes Makalu so deadly. The mountain lulls you into a false sense of security with a deceptive, low sloped glacier before forcing you onto a series of notorious ridges so narrow they feel like a knife edge. You are now in the death zone where the thin air begins to burn your lungs and the true terror of high altitude sets in. You will likely find yourself battling cerebral edema, a condition where the brain swells due to low oxygen, turning your own mind into a ticking time bomb. Or you may feel the onset of pulmonary edema, a chilling condition where fluid builds up in your lungs, turning each breath into a drowning struggle. And just when your body feels like it's about to turn on you, the mountain reveals its final test, a near vertical wall of solid ice at the summit that demands every ounce of strength you have left. Makalu leaves no room for error, and on this mountain, an error can cost you your life. Number 8, Broad Peak. Located on the borders of Pakistan and China lies the 12th tallest mountain on Earth, Broad Peak. It has been conquered by 476 people and is considered one of the easier 8,000er mountains. But that doesn't make it any less dangerous because it has a fatality rate of 8%. Now let's talk about what makes this mountain so deadly. After you've spent weeks trekking and pushing through the high altitude air, you will have to navigate a deceivingly low sloped glacier that is filled with deep, unconsolidated snow. It will feel as if you are trying to walk through a quicksand of snow that pulls you in with every step, all while the mountain attacks you with prolonged whiteout storms and fierce winds that can plummet temperatures well below negative 40 degrees Celsius. And you haven't even made it to the summit yet. When you finally reach the top, the almost mile-long summit ridge can quickly turn into a terrifying, featureless wasteland in a whiteout. A simple misstep can send you plummeting into an invisible crevasse. One wrong move, one moment of disorientation from the thin air, and you become a permanent monument of ice. You might think a tent in camp offers a moment of sanctuary, but on this mountain, there is no escape. Heavy snowfall in 2025 triggered a sudden avalanche between camps 2 and 3, injuring a climber and offering a chilling reminder that you're never truly safe. Number 7, Kangchenjunga. Guarding the border between Nepal and India, Kangchenjunga is the third tallest mountain on Earth, with 579 successful summits and 54 fatalities. It has a terrifying 9% fatality rate. You will face the common mountain dangers like storms, falls, brain swelling, and blindness. But what makes this mountain so deadly is its true isolation. Unlike the well-trodden routes of other mountains, there are no ladders here to help you cross deep crevasses. You'll find yourself facing a gaping chasm of ice where you either have to create a new route or have enough skill to make a leap over certain death. And since you and your crew will more than likely be the only ones on the entire mountain, you won't have to deal with long lines at the peak. But this also means that in an emergency, it would be highly unlikely that you would ever receive any outside help. A beautiful day can turn into a violent snowstorm in minutes with gale force winds and snow that blinds you. But perhaps the most maddening thing about this mountain is that after all that pain and suffering, even if you're one of the lucky few who reached the top, you still wouldn't be allowed to step foot on its summit since the mountain is considered sacred by the locals. And if you dare to disrespect it, you'll be guaranteed a solo descent to the bottom. Number 6, Hidden Peak. Located on the borders of Pakistan and China lies the 11th tallest mountain in the world, Hidden Peak. With a fatality rate hovering around 10%, it earned that name by specializing in dangers you never see coming. Your trip begins with a long, grueling walk up a glacier. Sounds simple, but it's a minefield. The whole thing is peppered with unseen crevasses, bottomless pits hidden by a thin layer of snow. Every step you take is a roll of the dice on whether the ground is going to open up and swallow you. But the mountain's deadliest weapon is the wind. This isn't some chilly breeze. It's an unpredictable and constant force of over 100 kilometers per hour, battering you, pushing you, and trying to rip you off the mountain. And here's the best parts. Almost nobody climbs this peak, so you are completely alone. If you slip, get hurt, or just vanish in a blizzard, nobody is coming for you. There's no one there to even witness your final moments. You just become another ghost on a mountain that was never really there. Number 5, K2. K2 is located in Pakistan and is the second highest mountain on Earth, only behind Mount Everest. Historically, K2 was one of the most deadliest mountains, and in 2021 had a staggering fatality rate of 25%. But this number has drastically decreased over the years due to better conditions, equipment, and logistics provided to climbers. Now, with over 100 deaths, it has a fatality rate of 10.5%. But let's get right to it and talk about what makes this mountain so deadly, and it all comes down to this terrifying section called the bottleneck. Here, you're forced into a slow-moving line, basically a sitting duck on a wall of ice. As you wait, you look up and see a block of glacial ice the size of an apartment building hanging right over your head that could collapse at any moment. In 2008, it did just that when 11 climbers lost their lives from an ice avalanche. The path itself is decorated with frozen bodies still clipped to the ropes, permanent reminders not to be slow, and even if you make it to the top, don't celebrate yet, because 80% of deaths happen on the way down when you're exhausted, hypoxic, and making stupid mistakes. Number 4, Shisha Pangma. Located in Tibet at 8,027 meters, stands the lowest of the 8,000er mountains, which might make you think it's the easiest. But don't let the height fool you, because there have only been 302 people that successfully reached its summit, while 35 climbers lost their lives in the attempt, giving it a fatality rate of 11.5%. Shisha Pangma, which means the god of the grasslands, is a peaceful name for a mountain of psychological torture. This mountain loves to play mind games. Its signature move is the false summit. After weeks of suffering, you finally haul your broken body to what you think is the peak. You get that 1 second of victory, then you look up and see the real summit still far away. Shishapangma has a false summit, and to reach the true summit, you would need to risk your life by moving up 11 meters across a 250-meter knife-edge ridge with the constant dangers of crevasses. This mind game has shattered climbers who were physically unbreakable. Shishapangma also stands isolated and exposed from all sides, making it prone to erratic and severe weather conditions. Cold, high velocity winds and heavy snowfall can lash the mountain for days without warning. And don't forget the dangers of massive avalanches. Because an incident in 2023, one of these slides erased 4 climbers from existence. Number 3, Dhaulagiri. Dhaulagiri, better known as the White Mountain, is located deep in the mountains of Nepal. It is the 7th highest mountain in the world, with a whopping fatality rate of 13%. Now, at first glance, the mountain looks glorious, majestic, and even mesmerizing, but don't get deceived by its beauty because it has claimed the lives of over 92 climbers. Now, mountain specializes in one-of-a-kind dangers. You will be dealing with a temperature that can plummet to negative 40 degrees Celsius with winds that break through your thick layered gear, making your bones tremble. The ground itself is not to be trusted. The glaciers are constantly shifting, and the moraines are a deadly moving maze of unstable rock and ice. This leaves you completely exposed to the ever-present risk of rockfall and falls from steep, icy terrain. You are in a constant state of combat with no fixed routes or safe havens, fighting a mountain that is actively changing its shape under your boots just to throw you off. Number 2, Annapurna. Located deep in Nepal's mountain range sits the 10th tallest mountain on Earth. Annapurna was once the most deadliest mountain, and up until 2014, it had a mind-blowing fatality rate of 32%. Over the years, with advancements in forecasting and gear, that number has dropped to 14.5%. Hopefully that doesn't encourage you to attempt this climb, because not only is it still dangerous, it is considered one of the most challenging mountains to climb. But let's talk about what makes this mountain so deadly. The mountain's south face is a 3,000-meter wall of vertical terror, a relentless assault on your body and spirit. But its biggest threats are the avalanches. Annapurna has the highest concentration of avalanches of any high-altitude peak in the world. They are a constant, terrifying threat that can come at any time and wipe out your entire camp. You can't even rest easy, as the mountain proved this in April 2025 when a sudden avalanche swept 2 Sherpas. Annapurna is a place where you have to remain laser focused on every step, every minute, or you will become just another statistic in a long, chilling history. Number 1, Nanga Parbat. Deep in the mountains of Pakistan sits the deadliest mountain in the world, Nanga Parbat. It is only the 9th highest mountain on the planet, and it's no surprise that the most deadliest mountain in the world is known as the Killer Mountain. There have only been 424 people that have reached the summit, while 85 climbers have lost their lives in that attempt, giving it a jaw-dropping fatality rate of 20%. And just to be completely clear, that's 1 in 5 people who reach the top don't make it back down. Imagine yourself climbing in a group of 5 and you look around. Yeah, there's a good chance one of you are not making it back. Now let's talk about what makes this mountain so deadly. Not only are you at the mercy of the mountain, but you are at risk of being attacked by humans. There was an incident that occurred in 2013 where terrorists attacked the base camp and executed 11 people. Now, for the actual mountain, the main climbing routes are plagued with hanging glaciers and dangerous ice falls. And to reach the top, you must climb Rupal Face, which is a sheer wall of rock and ice. It is the deadliest and highest mountain face in the world, spanning over 15,000 feet with an average slope of 50 degrees. After conquering it, you have another 4 to 6 days until you reach the summit. And when you finally do reach the top, and the high from the dopamine and adrenaline wears off, you're hit with the haunting realization that you've only gone through half the battle because you still have to survive the 3 days of descending. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to see more.